Let us see the third type of major pollution which we have is called soil pollution. Being the agricultural based country, we need to know this, that soil is very, very important for us, because our main source of income for our country like India is the agriculture. Now agriculture, for this agriculture, we are heavily relying on what our soil. And if that soil gets contaminated, it gets affected by certain toxic chemicals, it becomes unfit for agriculture. And that is how what will happen is that presence of those harmful chemicals or the pollutants which makes it unsafe or unfit for agriculture purpose, we call it what, a soil pollution. It's a very, very again a serious problem, because nowadays you know that we have been using converting land into what for various industrial purposes, for converting into the cities, and that is how releasing more and more of toxic in the waste material, and that is how we are making it on daily basis this soil pollution a major problem. Now let us see the two major causes of the soil pollution. The first is, of course, are the pesticides. After World War II, we have been actually, after what we got, India got independence, we have a green revolution. We have been heavily relying on the increasing population on what our agricultural growth. And we have got that agricultural growth because of mainly of the use of a lot of pesticides and insecticides in our, which not only has increased our agricultural product, agricultural yield, but by keeping a check on the infections and the other types of the pest, keeping it safe from pests and insects. But it has caused a major serious problem, which is called because these pesticides and insecticides which we use in order to increase our crop production, they are ones which are actually non-biodegradable. They sustains in the life in the food chain, and slowly they enters into the food chain or through the food chain into the human beings, and they cause us serious medicinal or biological problems like infertility, etc. The common examples are your BHC, benzene hexachloride, or gamaxine or lindane, or we can have DDT, dichlorophenidyl trichloroethane. Now these chemical substances, they are non-biodegradable, they enter the food chain and causes many serious problems to not only human beings, to other animals also. The second major cause is the industrial waste. The industrial waste as such is being thrown out. I am also including the nuclear waste in this, which is actually being dumped as such in some cases also. So those other industrial waste mainly includes the agricultural waste, like molasses we have out of those the sugar industries, and we have a lot of other industrial which has been just being dumped out in the open spaces, and that is being leading to the release of many toxic chemicals to the soil and making it unfit for agricultural purposes. It also includes the release of many harmful metals, like we have arsenic poisoning, lead poisoning, mercury poisoning, which is being increasing day by day, and its content is increasing in the soils day by day, making it unfit for the agricultural purposes. So these are the major two sources. We need to tackle this problem very seriously. Otherwise, not only a crop production gets affected, but the moment they these substances gets into the food chain, they cause serious medical problems to the human beings. Now let us see these strategies to control environmental pollution. See, we need to have a very well defined strategies so that strong measures are to be taken in order to control these environmental pollutions. Now this includes mainly the waste management and the collection and disposal systems. The waste management is there, that we must have a very strong management system which not only controls the waste which is being there. I'm not talking about only the household waste, but along with this we have a lot of industrial waste, agricultural waste, mining waste, and of course we have medicinal or the biological waste. Medicinal waste which is there from the hospitals. So we need to know these, we need to have a proper system, management system for the disposal of these waste materials, so that that reduces the environmental pollutions. The second is the waste collection and disposal system, how it is to be done. We must have a very systematic collection system from the household garbage, and it should be divided into biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste. Nowadays we know that in industries we use this, in a household even we keep the two different dustbins. One is for the biodegradable material, and another is for the non-biodegradable. So non-biodegradable one are the ones which most of them can be recycled, can be segregated. This mainly work we have to collect those different types of waste from the household with the help of the municipal workers, and then we have to collect them at a place, and so that they can be segregated properly. The biodegradable ones are to be disposed of properly so that they are not leading to any kind of pollution, and the non-biodegradable ones are to be segregated and then separate, and the proper recycling is to be done so that they are actually being recycled to obtain different type of new products, and they can be given new shape and can be reused again, so that the pollution is minimized, or the harmful effects of those substances which if they can sustain in the nature, in the surroundings, is minimized. So that is of utmost importance for us. Green chemistry. Green chemistry is a very new way of thinking or utilizing our present resources, materials in the minimum amount, and in order to generate the minimum waste, in order to use minimum energy, and to use it to the maximum extent, so that some new type of substances are being formed, or we uses them in the ongoing processes, so that the lesser amount of the pollution is being generated. See, so in a nutshell, what we can say is that green chemistry is basically is a cost-effective method by which what we do is we try to use a lesser amount of material, energy, and we produces lesser amount of waste, so that the industrial processes are made more effective and environmental friendly, so that lesser pollution is being generated. So what we do is, whatever the techniques we are having, we try to search them out and we try to make them more environmental friendly, so that lesser amount of pollution is being generated. We try to use the maximum resources whatever we are having in the best possible way, so that lesser amount of energy is being consumed, so lesser amount of the burning of the fossil fuel is there. We try to use the minimum amount of material, so that we can have them more for a longer time, and we can make out of the best of the use, so that the pollution at the end, the main reason is the less. That is why we call it green. We try to make it environmental friendly. The examples of this green chemistry in our day-to-day life, we have certain examples. Like in dry cleaning of clothes, we earlier used to use this tetrachloroethene, which was actually being used, but since it's a chlorine derivative, it used to sustain in the environment and cause a lot of other carcinogenic in nature, a lot of other environmental problems. Nowadays, what we do is we use this liquid carbon dioxide. Along with certain specific detergents, it is being used to dry clean the clothes. Liquid carbon dioxide is very, very effective. The clothes gets marvelously cleaned in the dry cleaning process by liquid carbon dioxide, and nowadays it is replacing this tetrachloroethene. Then the next is the bleaching of paper. We earlier used to bleach paper with chlorine. That again caused to serious environmental problems. Nowadays, we use this hydrogen peroxide for this purpose. Similarly, we used to synthesize many chemicals by different processes, but nowadays we are trying to use them by using certain specific catalysts or substances which are usually recycled again. Well, like we have a wake-up process by which when ethene is combined with oxygen in presence of the palladium, in fact it is the catalyst are palladium chloride, and in presence of cupric chloride and oxygen and water and air is being there, it gets changed into ethanol. And what happens is this palladium chloride gets converted into palladium, cupric chloride gets converted to cuprous chloride, and then it is being recycled back and with the use of HCl and oxygen. So the catalysts are being regenerated back, there is no as such environmental pollution, and we are able to form the chemically, industrially important compounds. So this is what green chemistry is.